In this video, I'm gonna teach you the top tricks that you should know when entering Palworld. So get ready, get set, and let's go. First trick is to have an early game auto farm. There's a couple ways to do this, but the easiest one is to have a chickpea and assign it to the ranch. It will constantly produce eggs that way. Then all you have to do with a food bowl placed is to have a pal with the transport skill bring those eggs over to your food bowl. It will constantly be feeding your pals so that you don't have to worry about feeding them yourself. You can also cook it to make fried eggs if you wish. But really, that's the easiest way to go about it, and you can just go do whatever other business you gotta go do. Tip number 2 is to use the back bonus when you're catching wild pals. If you catch it from the front, you'll get just the baseline, whatever percentage it is for that sphere you're using, and what level the pal is you're trying to catch. But if you go from the back, you do get a pretty decent increase. In the long run, this will save you a lot of pal spheres and a lot of materials, especially when you get to mega or giga spheres that you need to use to catch these higher level mons. You can always distract these mons with your own pals while they're in battle, and you can just sneak behind them and throw it that way. Tip number 3 is to get the bathtub, the hot spring, very quickly once you start really getting more pals working for you at your base. They will get really mad at you if you don't have this tub for relaxation for them. This keeps them working and happy. When they take a break or whatever, you can see here this Cativa like to hop in the pool so he gets his sand back, which is basically their willingness to work. This is especially important when you get these automatic ore mines and the automatic wood cutting, berry planting and everything, because they're going to be using a lot of that sand really fast. The next couple of tricks involve getting a mount as fast as you can. You can get it at level 6 and 7, I believe, is the earliest you can get it with the boar and the alpaca. But once you get to the level, you need to get the items and you need to spend the research points on them as soon as you can, because they do help with traversing the area a lot, as well as you can still attack while on the mount, so they're very useful in that regard. You can pick up items while you're on them as well. Just generally helps with traversal a lot. You can hold down speed and it'll go generally faster than what your normal run speed is, especially if you have the dire wolf, that is the fastest one. Just overall very helpful. And then of course, in order to traverse the sea, you will need your water mount. First one I got was the serpent saddle. You just go make that at your pal bench, of course. And this is actually pretty cool because it doesn't take the stamina when you're in the deep water. It still does in the shallow water, but when you're traversing the seas and stuff, you have to go pretty far. So while you're attacking on the mountain and everything still, you can get over to whatever area you need to go to with no stamina loss. The next tip is pretty quick. It's just when you're doing these big boss fights, you're going to want to have to switch out your mons. Just remember to do it. It's actually a really easy way to make sure you don't take damage, because you don't have a lot of shield until later game. You don't have a lot of HP until then either. So when your pal starts to get a little bit low HP, you'll notice that red exclamation point, and then you can just switch him out to another healthy mon. Do this in order to minimize the risk to you. You still take damage, but just focus on dodging and let your mon do all the hard work. The next tip is more of a warning to not do something that I did. For here, I won't show what the first boss of the tutorial looks like, just for anybody looking for spoilers, so don't worry, you won't be spoiled on this video. But do not, and I repeat, do not cheese the boss like I did, because it advances the world forward. It makes the bossing and everything else higher level, and it gets a lot tougher, especially the raids, and they might end up looking like this.
Are you kidding me? There's another raid?
Help me catch the dino.
I'm in another raid.
I don't have the page. No, it's not. Look at it. Look at it. Look.
So yeah, just make sure you're ready to go on to the next little part of the story, I guess, as when you go take on the first boss. The warning is there for a reason. I wish I would have listened to it, because it got a little bit tougher. The final tip I have for all of you guys today is to have a second base as soon as you hit level 10. You do have to get level 10, but once you do, you can go get another automatic production, like look at all the wool, your berry farm, or however else you're doing your automatic farm, with stone and wood being automatic with the cutter and the miner, of course. You're just gonna get a lot more production that way. You have your bath so that they don't get pissed at you, and that'll definitely increase your production a lot. You'll notice you'll get a lot more resources. So there you have it, everybody. my tips for all of you just starting out in Palworld. It's a really good game, and I hope you enjoy it as much as I do. But let me know if I forgot something, or what tips you might have in the comments below. Make sure you subscribe to the channel for more Palworld, Pokemon, and all sorts of that kind of game. Guides, content, so much more, and I'll see you in the next one. See ya!